Order all your half-shell favorites for takeout or delivery. Visit www.halfshelloysterhouse.com to browse the familiar menu and place your delivery or takeout order in minutes. Same menu prices, just a $5 flat delivery fee every time at Half Shell Oyster House, located at 115 Laurel Park Cove, Suite 105, Flowood, Mississippi, 39232, or you can give us a call at 769-257-7586. And oh yeah, tell them Sonya sent you.
She say sports. She say sports. She say sports. She say sports.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sonya, and welcome back to She Say Sports. Please welcome back co-host of Dr. Cavil's Inside, the HBCU Sports Lab, and play-by-play announcer for the Prairie View Panthers, Mr. Charles Bishop. Hello, Charles. How are you today?
How you doing, Sonya? It's great to be back with you for another week, talking a little bit of SWAC.
Absolutely. How was your Thanksgiving?
Phenomenal. Seafood dressing was on point. I had somebody ask about that on the show one night because they watched your show. So they were checking to see how my seafood dressing turned out. So everything turned out perfect.
That's good. I didn't get a chance to get any. I ended up going to Dallas today after Thanksgiving for a concert, which was phenomenal. But next time I need to get some of it. I need to check it out without the shrimp. So Charles, as you know, this past Saturday was the SWAC Championship game against FAMU Rattlers and the Prairie View Panthers. This was in Tallahassee, Florida. Had a bunch of rain there this weekend. Had to postpone the game for about an hour?
Yeah, we had two game postponements during the course of the game. One to start the game, and I believe there was another one in the third quarter. So inclement weather came through Tallahassee this weekend, but that did not put a damper on the Rattler fan base. They were there in full throat.
I love it. And FAMU finished up the Panthers 35-14 and becoming the SWAC champions of 2023. Congratulations, Coach Willie Simmons and the Rattler Nation. This was FAMU's first SWAC championship since they've been with the SWAC conference. They came with us, 2021? Mm-hmm. So congratulations, guys. So Charles, will you give us some of the highlights of the game? What was going on? What were some of the players that made like some huge plays and just took it on in for the Rattlers?
Yeah, well, I think first and foremost, we have to acknowledge the historic nature of Florida A&M winning their first SWAC championship. This is a football program now that has done it in three different conferences. They've done it in the SIAC. They won a conference championship in the MEAC. Of course, they're coming over to the SWAC from the MEAC. And now they've won their first SWAC championship in year 3 since them joining into the conference. So kudos to a very proud fan base in terms of what they were able to accomplish. So a lot of Rattler fans are very excited about this very first one under the tutelage of Coach Willie Shotgun Simmons. Yeah. But when you take a look at the game, with the inclement weather that was in place, I was concerned about, would either team be able to pass the ball. And I have to take my hat off to FAMU again. Jeremy Wilson was able to maneuver the ball around. They were able to throw the ball effectively. He threw for 188 yards in this game. He was 13 of 22 for a touchdown, but even bigger, no turnover, no interceptions in this game. Like I said, you had thunderstorms that were rolling through the area. But when you talk about what they were able to do on the offensive side of the ball, was Terrell Jennings. Huge game, 17 carries, 113 yards. So those guys were huge factors in this game. And when you talk about FAMU offense, one of their big receivers, Marcus Riley, he had a huge game in this game, 5 catches, 132 yards. So I tell you what, they came out throwing, they came out sharp, and they were able to take down Prairie.
And Prairie View, they tried to come back a couple of times. Tell us about their game and what was it that just wouldn't mesh for them to get them to the next level against FAMU?
Yeah, well, I thought the big thing for Prairie View is they were going to have to run the ball, and that's something very difficult to do against this stout Florida A&M defense. So you're talking about one of the best defenses, not just in the SWAC, but in the nation. But if Prairie View was to have some success, they were going to have to run the ball. And when you take a look at the totality of the numbers, they did have some success with regards to rushing. They did rush 30 times for 183 yards, but some of those yardage, kind of came when the game I thought was already in hand for Florida A&M, where they really needed to get those yardages as far as rushing attempts and things of that nature to kind of wear down that FAM defense. They just weren't able to do it. And then you take a look at things from the passing standpoint. Trezon Conley, only 7 of 14, 91 yards in this game, no touchdowns with the pick. And you can kind of make an argument it was the opening drive interception for Trezon Conley. They kind of set this thing up on a platter for FAMU. They were able to take that opening interception, go right down and score a touchdown. And from that point, Prairie View's playing from behind. And I just did not think that was something that PV was going to be able to do when you're talking about one of the better teams within the SWAC.
That's true. That's true. So, I heard, of course, the peanut gallery. I heard a lot of rumblings saying, the game was boring. Alcorn probably would have did a better job. So, Alcorn, they were next in line they would have been the ones to play FAMU had Prairie View not made it, correct?
Well, yeah, I think you can make that argument, but the facts of the matter are Prairie View knocked off Alcorn back in September.
That's true.
So if you were going to be there to represent, you would have had to have taken care of business. And the facts are
they would have had to stand on business. I'm sorry. I had to do it.
Take care of business, stand on business, however you call it. But there's a reality that Prairie View went to Lorman and we're able to knock off Alcorn State. And then you can't discount the fact that Texas Southern was able to knock off Alcorn when Alcorn visited Houston. So those games, they played into account with regards to how Prairie View was able to get to the SWAC championship game. So you take your hat off to the PV Panthers. They won the games they needed to win. They took down a very tough Alabama State team to get to the SWAC championship game. So you can't begrudge Prairie View for how they got in. They got in on their own merit.
That's right. Absolutely. I totally agree. Speaking of Alcorn, there is some rumblings around, Texas Southern coach has parted ways, and there's, it's been word that Coach McNair and a couple of more coaches are in the running for Texas Southern's head coach position. Can you give a little detail on that?
Yeah, well, I saw that was something the HBCU Game Day did report. HBCU Sports, if I'm not mistaken, they did report that Fred McNair was in the running. I know one of the criteria that Dr. Kevin Granger did want with regards to this new Texas Southern coach is he wanted head coaching experience that has led a program. So that obviously that's something that Fred McNair does have on the resume. They have a bevy of tremendous candidates according to that article. And I don't think Texas Southern can go wrong in any direction that they go. According to the article, that Fred McNair is in the running. Chennis Berry from Benedict. If you know anything about Benedict College, they've been champions of the SIAC the past 2 seasons, undefeated regular seasons in regards to Benedict programs. And if you go back a ways with Chennis Berry, he was the offensive coordinator last time the Southern Jaguars were in the SWAC championship. So he is definitely a worthy candidate. I think you have the head coach from Valdosta State, Tremaine Jackson, if I'm not mistaken, is his name. But they have some very good candidates that will be interviewing for this Texas Southern job. In fact, a little NFL type, I believe Brett Maxey will also be running for this Texas Southern job. So that announcement should be coming up pretty shortly. I'm sure they'll make an announcement before we get too far along in December, because as you know, athletes are making their decisions in regards to transfer portal. So you kind of want to sew that up pretty quickly. Yeah,
that's true. Well, it would definitely be an end of an era if Coach McNair does leave. I believe he has 1 more year in his contract. And if I'm not mistaken, but it'll definitely be an end of an era. How long has he been there? Maybe what?
I'm not sure
I'm
the
not sure
total
either.
number of years, but obviously, when you talk about Alcorn, the McNair name is, of course, synonymous with Alcorn football. Whether you talk about Fred McNair, Steve McNair, or some of the kids and nephews that have come through Alcorn's program. So definitely, you're talking about one of the stalwarts of Alcorn football. For his name to even be mentioned somewhere other than Alcorn, I'm sure for a lot of fans and fans of the SWAC that it's a bit jarring.
It is. It really is. But I wish him well, whatever he decides to do. It will be following that story for sure. So, Charles, we're going to move on to the Celebration Bowl 12-16. All roads lead to Atlanta. FAMU will be representing the SWAC, and they will represent them well against Howard, the Howard Bisons. Tell us a little bit about that matchup, and what are your thoughts on this game? Who takes the trophy home?
Well, I think it's going to be a tremendous matchup. And when you're talking about brand names in HBCU football, when you're talking about Howard University, they call themselves the Mecca. So definitely from an athletic standpoint, definitely a brand name. And of course, FAMU, definitely a brand name with regards to if you're going to start talking about blue bloods within the HBCU sports hemisphere, you're talking about FAMU, Jackson State, Tennessee State, Grambling, Southern. Howard's name gets mentioned because, they're just a tremendously associated with the HBCU brand. But when you take a look at their football team, they have a very formidable football team, a team that is led by Quentin Williams at quarterback. And then you talk about some names, Eaton James, Jared Hunter, Ian Wheeler. They're going to bring a three-headed monster at running back that has given teams fits. And Eaton James, that name it should be familiar to a lot of fans from his dad. His dad is Edrin James, former Indianapolis coach. So he's third leading rusher in the MEAC. But when you talk about playing against any MEAC team, especially in this Celebration Bowl, you know that there's going to be a period of time off that the MEAC teams have had coming into the Celebration Bowl, upwards of a month. So they will come in rested. They will come in fresh legs. And then just from a characteristic standpoint, the MEAC is known for playing a very physical brand of football. Sometimes when you're talking about SWAC, the characteristics of the SWAC, we throw the ball around a little bit, and a lot of people say if you have a quarterback, you're 3/4 of the way there. So it's very much a quarterback league, whereas the MEAC isn't exactly a quarterback league. It is a league that you rely on the running game. You're playing in cold, inclement weather once you start getting towards late October and November. It lends itself to running the football more. And then they are known for playing really good defense in that conference. So I'm looking for a great matchup when you pit this FAMU offense up against this Howard defense. I think there's a great matchup there. And then on the flip side, you have a Howard offense that can be explosive, especially when you talk about that three-headed monster at running back going up against, like I said, one of the best defenses in the nation. I think for a lot of Jackson State fans, this FAMU defense really will remind them a lot of Jackson State defenses in 21 and 22.
That's good. So, I'm going to ask the question. I mean, could FAMU be the first team since Grambling to bring the Celebration Bowl championship ring home to the SWAC?
I think they very much could be that team. When I looked at FAMU this past weekend, I think there are so many similarities to what we saw with Jackson State in 21 and 22, in that they have an extremely good defense, a potent offense that can do a lot of things very well. They check all the boxes, but for some reason, the SWAC has not been able to get it done in the Celebration Bowl. And the MEAC, they bring that chip on their shoulder when you talk about playing in this game. They understand that the SWAC gets the limelight, if you will, and the eyeballs, and everybody is talking SWAC. And to that point, the SWAC fan bases are second to none when you're talking about FCS football, even outpacing a lot of the FBS, lower level FBS football programs in terms of the fandom. So they feel that sort of disrespect, if you will, and they bring all that into the Celebration Bowl because from their standpoint, they're not going to take a back seat to the SWAC. They're not going to take a back seat to the eyeballs. They very much look forward to this game to prove that they are not just every bit as good as the SWAC, but just a better overall brand than the SWAC. So that's what makes this game very compelling when you start talking about the Celebration Bowl, because as we near it, you hear it from every team that comes in from the MEAC, that they come in with that chip on their shoulder and things of that nature. So it makes it a fun, festive environment.
That's true. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. Of course, Jackson State, we were in the Celebration Bowl for the last 2 seasons, and we did not pan out with the win. However, I'm looking forward to the Rattlers and Coach Simmons bringing it on home. Let's do it, guys. Let's go. Let's go. So, Charles, usually, look, what kind of cheerleader is that? Let's go. Let's go.
I know, right?
Charles, we usually just talk SWAC, but it's just been a lot of stuff that's been going on outside of the SWAC. And I was at church yesterday and my phone was just blowing up and I didn't know what was going on. And I'm trying to pay attention and learn the word of God, however, social media was on a buzz yesterday on a whirlwind regarding the Florida State University Seminoles. The CFP committee snubbed unbeaten FSU, and some feel like they were making a mockery of the college football playoffs. For the ones who don't know what's going on, can you elaborate a little bit more on what I've just said, please?
Yeah, well, you take a look at the college football playoffs. The top 4 teams will be playing for the national championship. This year it will be Michigan, Texas, Alabama, and the University of Washington. A lot of the hubbub is in regards to Florida State. Florida State was undefeated in the ACC, undefeated season, and they were snubbed for the college football playoff in Alabama. So you have a lot of fans that feel like it was an SEC bias, that Florida State was the team that should have gotten in because their body of work dictated that they were the team that should get in over Alabama, that does have 1 loss on their ledger, and that loss is actually to a team that's going to be playing in the college football playoff, University of Texas, and they lost that game to Texas at home. So there is good reason for debate. I was on the plane on the way back from Tallahassee, and everybody was on their phones following the selection show. So it was really, really interesting, because when the number 4 team was announced, there was a whoo that happened on the plane, and even the pilot was like, wow, so Florida State is not going to be playing in the college football playoff. So there's a lot of debate.
Are you serious?
Yeah, very much so.
Wow.
So, it's wherever you fall out on that, I think you could make a compelling argument, obviously, for Florida State being undefeated, being a conference champion, and being snubbed for the college football playoff. But you also can make a just as compelling an argument for the University of Alabama being probably over the last 2 weeks of the season, probably they got hot at the right time to turn enough voters in terms of their decision making by making them easily the 4th best team in the nation. And at the end of the day, the criteria is that committee wanted the 4 best teams in the national playoff hunt, and you can make an argument nobody wanted to see a repeat of last year's national championship game, which was Georgia beating TCU into submission 60-some-odd to 7. So, it's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in another. I feel horrible for Florida State because their body of work does dictate. Well, I mean, and obviously there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of passion on either side of the ledger. Like you said, you think Florida State's kids were robbed. You could just as easily make an argument that Alabama, as of December 3rd, was a better team than Florida State, because Florida State's their resume was built up with Jordan Travis, and Jordan Travis has been injured over the last 2 weeks. So they aren't the same football team as they were during the previous 9-10 weeks of the season.
Okay, I get that, and I understand what you're saying. However, I don't think that's fair for them to take them out because the quarterback is hurt. That's I just don't think it's fair. And I really think they're just opening the door for Saban so he can try to get one more championship. I just
That's actually a fair assessment, and it's the last year of the 14 playoff. It'll open up to 6 next year. So if we're arguing who should have gotten in, 6 or 7, no, we're not going to do that. So I'm glad that they're opening it up a little bit more because I do feel horrible for Florida State, but I figured at some point this was going to actually happen, where you were going to have a one-loss team from either the Big Ten or the SEC that was going to nudge out another Power 5 team because, and it's all perception. It's all perception, especially with regards to that last 2-3 weeks of the season in terms of who is a more capable team. Because again, like I said, when you talk about television ratings and eyeballs, what the committee probably did not want to see was Georgia versus TCU again.
I don't think none of us want to see that again. We good. I agree. So okay, well, we shall see. I'm excited about the playoffs. Who are you going for out of those?
That's a great question because I want to see the best matchup, and I've cross-checked and things of that nature. I don't know what the best matchup is. I think the way Jalen Milroe is playing over the past 3 weeks for Alabama, and the Alabama defense just doesn't look like the same Alabama defense that I saw back in September and October. And it looks like they're playing like the Alabama defense again. Michigan, I think, has been dominant all season. Yeah. So we talk about Blake Corum and those guys, but keep an eye out for University of Texas. I think they might have a say in there, and I don't think there's a better quarterback in this 14 playoff than Michael Penix at University of Washington.
We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I hope it's some good games. Very exciting. No blowouts, like we said about kids. I don't want to see that. I want to see some good games. So we'll see. Well, Charles, as usual, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining me. We play a game.
I thought we were gonna skip out of here before we play the game.
No, it's the Christmas edition.
Oh boy.
What we do is we play this game just to get to know the guests better, and I'll ask you a few questions, and you choose the ones that best fit you. No answer is wrong. You prefer eggnog or hot chocolate?
Hot chocolate.
Marshmallows or without?
Without.
Same here. Handmade gifts or bought gifts?
Bought.
Receiving.
Bought. I don't have that many great craftsmen in my vicinity, so buy me something.
Buy me something. All you want is golf balls.
I was about to say, I don't know anybody making great putters or good 8-iron. So yeah,
I'm gonna make you one out of some clay. It'll be ready by the next year. You prefer a real tree or artificial tree?
Oh, I waffle on that. I've had both. I will say that the real tree just is so much more mess. But you love the smell of the real tree in the house. So 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other in terms of which one I like better. But got an artificial tree up now, and I don't have pine needles to clean up. So
same here. Just get you some pine spray and spray it around if you want to smell it. Staying in or going out? Will you be staying in during the Christmas holiday season or going out?
I'll probably be staying in a lot more. 30 years ago, Chuck probably would have been out somewhere. But I just think probably my friends group right now, we love staying in, watching games, drinking eggnog with a little something in it, or maybe a little hot chocolate,
that's why you want it there. I understand. You prefer, and see, this is a hard one for both of us because we are both music. Do you prefer Christmas songs or Christmas movies?
Ooh, That's a good one. I like Christmas songs because all the Lifetime Christmas movies are extra cheesy. So,
Well, no. BET and TV1 have some excellent Christmas movies. First of all, don't do BET and TV1. They have come up, they are not the same. It is not they're really good show. Whatever.
You're right.
Stop. So,
I agree.
Okay, so Lifetime is cheesy. What are you saying BET and TV1 movies are? Christmas movies. You better say it. Let's see. That's
really?
what I thought. Don't get beat up. Don't get beat up by the listeners. Candy Cane, something with Eddie Murphy on Prime Video. That's on my list. I'm hearing some good things about that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Mm-hmm.
But so you prefer the songs?
Oh yeah, I mean you got a lot of great Christmas songs, great Christmas albums. In fact, I'm in the midst of listening to Robert Glasper's Christmas album right now. So dope.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like the new Christmas songs, but I'm a traditional baby. Of course, Santa Claus is a black man. Mama, hey, I mean, my daddy was black. He was Santa. Of course, Donny Hathaway. That is a staple.
Oh my God.
Christmas song.
Yeah.
Silent Night. It's just a lot of them. I love a lot of traditional.
Exactly.
But I do like Christmas movies. One of my favorites is This Christmas with Chris Brown. That was
that was a great one. And then Christmas Day, it's a staple. I'm gonna always watch the Christmas
National
Story.
Lampoon. And the Christmas Story. Well, my cousin Keisha and I, we haven't done it in a few years, but we would cook on Christmas Eve, and TBS will play National Lampoon or Christmas Story 24 hours. So we would watch it over and over again and laugh at the same stuff. I mean,
every year I want that Red Ryder BB gun from the Christmas Story. So,
It's gonna knock your eye out. You prefer on Christmas Day warm weather or cold weather?
Cold.
Being from Mississippi and Texas, we get some 90-degree. Christmas is not really liking it, but it is what it is.
Right, exactly. Some of my best memories, I think, are cold Christmases, being at my grandma's house in Prairie County, Mississippi. So, yeah.
Oh, nice. One of my favorite, it was real cold, was Chicago. My family is there, so I will go for Christmases sometimes. So those are very cold. Are you dressing up for Christmas, or you just wearing your PJs all day?
A little of both. Yeah, probably PJs up until the first basketball game comes on now. And then you probably put something on, get ready for Christmas dinner. And then, Thanksgiving and actually Christmas has become such a sports day. And so Christmas, there's some sports in the background while you're unwrapping gifts and getting that new putter. And hopefully somebody hears that new driver that I'm going to unwrap for Christmas as well. So.
Oh my gosh. Do you even, look how you smiling. Do you even sing Happy Birthday to Jesus? Because it's not his birthday. We have since I was a kid, we sing Happy Birthday first before we open our gifts. All he's talking about is flutters. Wendy, make him sing Happy Birthday to Jesus. You prefer on your Christmas tree white lights or color lights?
Great question, because the Christmas tree I have up now has both. You can adjust it to where you got white lights or colored lights. They blink, they rotate. It's so cool. I have the coolest Christmas tree. So last night was white lights. Tonight might have multicolor.
Well, they were pre-lit, but they're colored. I wanted white, but they were out of white last year. I waited too late. But it's very pretty. Are you the Grinch or are you an elf?
Elf, definitely.
You're elf?
Yeah, and my elf in my bank account tells me I'm an elf. So December 31st is now never fun.
Absolutely. So, okay, and then simultaneously, do you like the movie The Grinch or the movie The Elf? Have you ever seen?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great one. That's a great question. I'm a fan of the old school Grinch cartoon. But man, Elf is so funny. Right? The Elf is so funny. So I'd probably go Elf. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going F too. My cousin Serena and I, we saw that in the movie theater in '03 in St. Louis. It was hilarious. It was really good.
Yeah.
Last. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Last one. You prefer being a gift giver or a gift receiver?
Oh, I'm definitely a gift giver. Probably. You go through phases of, can't wait to open up Christmas gifts as a kid to seeing your kids open up their Christmas gifts. So the juxtaposition of that is a lot of fun. So at this stage of life, definitely to see the look on somebody else's face means the world to me. So I always enjoy that.
I do. I love giving gifts, but I still love receiving them. So I'm a mixture. And so these new kids, we call it record player. For my birthday, I got a record player. Well, my niece was like, "Oh, I have a vinyl player, and I just got some vinyls," and I was like, "Whatever." But I am wanting new vinyls, new records for my players, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
People asked me what I wanted, and I was like, vinyl. Well, I said record players.
See, I'm in the midst of building that up because, as you well know, I got some Coltrane vinyls.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, you can add one to my collection. You said you're a giver, so be a blessing.
Be a blessing. Yeah, be a blessing. No doubt.
Charles, as usual, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Tell the listeners how they can follow you on social media and listen to your show.
Yeah, you listen to my show every Tuesday and Thursday, Dr. Bill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. This past season, of course, I've done Pepsi Game Day with SWAC Digital. You can see me doing some things with SWAC Digital. I just finished actually doing the volleyball championships, the soccer championships. So look for me in the spring as far as doing some basketball as well, Black College Sports Network, for which we are both on. So I'm looking forward to it. So I stay kind of busy year round. And then, of course, all social media outlets, be it Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. I'll be out there somewhere.
Awesome. And guys, you can follow me on She Say Sports on Facebook, She Say Sports 23 on Instagram, and please subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you so much. Thank you. Guys, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports.